This SHOT Show coverage is sponsored by Ace Virtual Shooting, Philster Holsters, Night Vision Inc., and PTS. Links will be in the description.
Hey guys, this is Tony with Asian with a Hat. I'm at the SHOT Show 2024. I got lucky today, guys, because we're at Primary Arms, and Steven was not supposed to be here, but he got to stay a little longer, and he's doing an interview with us. So what we're going to ask Steven, what does the public really need to know about the most amazing optics you guys have?
So this year we've got our Discovery 2024 event. So moving forward, anytime you see Discovery with Primary Arms Optics, you're going to know it's the latest and greatest, all of our new releases. So you'll be able to kind of keep track of what we're coming out with. So
nice.
For Discovery 2024 here at SHOT Show, we teased quite a few products kind of the weeks leading up to this, and then we had a few videos and pictures kind of go out just before SHOT Show, but this is the first place anybody's actually been able to get hands on. Really exciting products that everybody's been asking for. That's been our main focus this year, is giving our customers what they've been asking for the last couple of years. So,
yes, because you've definitely, before the show started, when I come and seen you, said hi to my good buddy, you did tease us a little with some sites.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
We had a few of the prototypes. I've been running some of these prototypes for anywhere from 6 months to a year. We work out all the kinks. We do very extensive testing when we're running the optics before we actually present them to the market. So we make sure they're right, everything works like we want it to work, and people are going to love it.
And I know that for a fact because I was supposed to get certain things. I can't give it to you, Tony, because it's not ready. It didn't pass. So we know the quality's there.
It's definitely there. Definitely there.
All right, guys, we're going to walk around, and Steven's going to show us what we got. What do we got here, Steven?
Right. So we'll kind of start off with our 1X systems. So everybody knows the MD25, which is our traditional reflected dot. Everybody loved that thing, but it is kind of big. So they wanted to see something smaller. They also wanted to figure out how to increase the battery life. The MD25 already has phenomenal battery life for 40,000 hours, something like that off the CR2032. So with battery power, it's kind of hard to increase on that.
Correct, but it's amazing as it is. Wow, look how small that thing is.
So what we did, we actually came out with 4 new dots this year. So we've got 2 in our SLX series and 2 in our GLX series. The biggest difference between the two is the GLX has a solar cell. And what makes our solar cell a little bit different than other people's is our solar cell runs the dot the majority of the time. The battery is just a backup for the solar. So even inside interior lighting like this, more than enough to run the dot. If you're inside, lights off, nighttime, cave, something like that, that's when the battery kicks in, and it's a seamless transition. You don't know what's happening, does it by itself. Then as soon as that solar panel can produce the energy, it switches right back over to solar.
That is so sweet, nice.
It's an awesome system.
Backup to the backup.
Exactly. So how do you increase battery life? You make the optic not have to rely on batteries
Correct.
to run.
Pull less power.
Yeah, exactly. We do 2 reticle options available in this. So there's a 2 MOA as well as our new ACSS CQB. So with that, it's similar to the pattern that's in the MD25, but now you can select which elements of that reticle are turned on.
Oh, that's nice.
So it'll cycle through like just the chevron and the horseshoe, chevron and BDC, or everything on all together. So depending on how you're shooting, what you're doing, maybe you're running a magnifier, maybe you're running no mag, and you just want to be fast and close, you can pick which elements are on and off. The SLX is almost identical. Instead of the solar panel on top, we put the buttons on top, so the ambidextrous controls are a little bit easier to get to. But nice big buttons, very tactile. You can use them with gloves. It's an absolutely phenomenal optic.
I did notice that on the buttons. They're a little bigger, which is nice.
Yep, you can actually get your fingers on those things.
You're not kind of feel like, where is it? That's it? Or do like I do 50 million times till I hit it right.
Exactly. It's got our auto light technology in it as well, which is pretty sick. If it sits still for 2 minutes, it'll shut itself down. As soon as you touch the gun, it turns itself back on. We have a lot of people call us like, my auto light's not working, it's just always on. It is working, but literally as soon as you touch it, if I come up to this and hit it, all the optics are on. So
oh, wow.
It's any vibration at all, it picks it up and turns it on instantly. This is also sitting on one of our new mounts. So this is our 2.26 inch riser mount. It's a T1, T2 footprint, so it fits, of course, our new MD21s as well as any of the other micro dot footprints that are out there. We do a couple of cantilevers in this as well, which you'll see here in a minute. We do them in 30 and 34 millimeter, as well as a bunch of accessories like 1 o'clock mounts for reflexes, or 12 o'clock mounts if you're into that. All new for this year.
That's going to be so sweet. I want the cantilevers. I love the cantilevers.
Yeah, cantilevers are nice. They're really nice. So staying in that kind of 1X theme, everybody knows the SLX 1X microprism, or 3X microprism, and our 5X microprism. The main kind of critique we got on that was everybody wanted just a little bit better glass, a little bit brighter illumination. So we came out with a GLX 1X microprism. It's got a larger objective and an overall larger body, but it's a smaller footprint because we got rid of the big rheostat on the side and we replaced it with digital buttons, so we were actually able to make
it
it a
is
little bit
nice
more
and
narrow.
sleek, and it's a good looking scope.
It is. It's very sleek. There's not a lot that hangs off the side of the guns. The button itself is protected, so you're not going to set it down and accidentally hit buttons. Again, nice big buttons. They're easy to manipulate.
Nice and contoured to the sight itself and everything. It's,
Yep. And we biased them up as well, so if you have to come over with your offhand and manipulate.
Also,
them,
no,
you can
yeah, nice.
Move the battery compartment to the top, again, keeping that nice narrow profile. We're offering this in 2 options out of the gate. They're both the same ACSS Cyclops reticle, but we do it in red or green. So if you're a green guy, we've got those available. If you're a red guy,
I'm turning green. I love green for some reason.
Green's good. It sits right in the middle of the visible light spectrum, so your eye tends to pick it up a little bit easier. I'm an old school guy. I've been running red for so long. I recognize red as that's where my bullets
I am
go,
too, but
so.
for some reason, green's kind of turning me a little.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just because I'm getting older, my eyesight's getting bad, so the greens.
That could very well be it too. One of the coolest features of this is it is an unlimited eye relief optic. So one of the demos we've been doing is we've actually been sitting it up here on our rack, having people step all the way back to the door. They can still see through that optic, still see the reticle, nice sharp reticle picture. It doesn't matter how far away it is. So if you're running this on like an Ultimac rail on an AK or some crazy setup, a Springfield SOCOM, whatever it is, it doesn't matter how far away it is or how close it is, your eye box is always in the sweet spot. So it's
Yes. I've been talking about that
universal.
all week long to people. Man, you guys get up there, see this thing. It's awesome.
It's amazing. This is probably one of my favorites of all of our new releases.
It's mine. Like I said, like I told you, my EOTechs are going bye-bye, and I'm going to those.
Yep, it's the way of the future, especially for people with like astigmatisms. If you have a hard time seeing a dot, you have that either grape cluster or smear. With an etched optic like our microprisms, you don't have that issue. Also, like one of the happy accidents with that is it is an etched reticle. So if you have a power failure for some reason,
It
batteries
still
die,
works.
electronics go, it still works. There's still something to see, just like any other like LPVO or any other traditional
So
reticle.
all you preppers, if you lose power, you still got your things.
It is an end of the world optic.
Exactly.
We'll never go down. Some of the other new stuff. So this is a little bit more the kind of the big buzz of the show. So last year we came out with our SLX 1 to 10. People loved it. The 34 millimeter tube, for the magnification range that it gives you and the optical clarity that it gives you, it's a very compact package. It is a 34 mil tube, a 28 millimeter objective. The biggest critique that we had was people wanted it brighter. They wanted that, since it goes down to 1X, they wanted to be able to run it like a red dot. So we put our Nova reticle in it. Our
Really?
Nova reticle is a fiber wire illumination. So instead of reflecting light off of an etch and fill traditional style illumination, we actually take a fiber optic, run it down through the reticle and point it back towards the shooter. So it gets all the light that comes off of that diode and kicks it out of the eyepiece, making it truly red dot bright. It is, I mean, if you can find a situation where this is washed out, you got bigger problems.
It's too late. Don't worry about it.
It is extremely bright, and it's just a fine center point illumination as well. So turn it down to 1 power, run it like a red dot. If you need to engage at distance, kick it up to 10. It is a second focal plane scope, so the reticle does not change size. Just your target image does when you're zooming through the range. So the reticle is calibrated for maximum power, which would be 10x on this scope. That's when all your mill stadia are true, so you can mill your targets, figure out how far away they are. You can figure out how it
Correct.
drops, mover holds, wind holds, things like that. This is going to be under $500 when it hits the market here in Q2. So for under $500, getting a 1 to 10 system with that kind of
It's
illumination.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable because everybody's 800, 900.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get into glass that's
Well, again,
1,000,
did you
2,000, 2,500.
the last site we were just looking at? What was the price on that one?
That one's going to be under $350 for the GLX
Yes.
1X. It's coming out here in Q2. Again, everything we're releasing here at the show will be available Q2 this year. That one's under $350. The SLX series, depending on the options that you have in the series that you get, those we're looking under $300, around the $270-ish area. So, and then just down from there. So, depending on how you set it up, you can save.
That's
quite
just
a bit of money.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got great product coming out as usual, new ones. It's just unbelievable.
Always new stuff.
Which one's this one
This
here?
is kind of the belle of the ball. So this is the one everybody's been talking about. We released our original PLX Compact 1:8 2 years ago. It's a first focal plane scope, etch and fill reticles. We do a couple of BDC reticles in the ACSS system, as well as some mill-based. But again, the big critique we got off of it, everybody loved the glass, loved the image. It's almost a heads-up display. The bezel disappears at 1x, but they wanted that red dot bright option. So
I love mine.
yeah, it's a phenomenal scope. I run them on everything. If it's an LPVO, I've got one of these on it. It's super lightweight. It's barely over a pound. So this whole combination together with the scope and the optic, we're under 1.25 pounds. It's insane. But the people asking for that red dot bright illumination, we put the Nova in it. So we had to re-engineer the scope. It's not quite as easy as just dropping a reticle into a scope. We had to make it a second focal plane because, again, that fiber wire type technology, you have to run second focal plane. Otherwise, it gets either way too thick at max power or it just disappears at 1. So with that Nova, you can turn this down to 1. The bezel disappears. It's a heads-up display. Run it just like a red dot. The rest of the reticle just kind of fades away. You don't really notice it's there. And then if you have to engage at distance, again, it's calibrated for the highest magnification. So on this scope, it's an 8. Crank it up to 8 power. You can mill, calculate bullet drops, mover holds, all that stuff. It's a truly fantastic scope. Optical clarity in this thing, the weight, the length, everything about it makes it the cream of the crop.
So now I get my old one and get a new one now.
Yep.
Darn, that's terrible.
It's kind of like iPhones, right?
Yeah.
Every time you get what you think is the latest and greatest, something cooler comes out.
Correct, and I've learned that with you.
Yeah,
I have learned that over my years of being your friend, how things change all
That's
the time.
why it's very dangerous to ask me for stuff. Go, okay, I can get it for you, but if you wait a little bit more,
Yeah,
there's
I'll have
always
something
new
better.
coming out. As anybody who asks questions on our social media, I'm usually the one that responds to them. So all you guys out there that are asking for, are you going to be making this? Is this other thing coming out? And you get a response that says, we're always working on cool new stuff. That's me. Nobody in this industry will ever tell you what we are actually working on, but I can tell you a lot of guesses that you guys have been putting out there have been pretty close. We're always working on cool new stuff. We have a lot of active engineering projects, a fantastic engineering team down there in Houston, Texas. So
You got an
yeah,
awesome
changing
place
the
down there,
industry.
period. That tour
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
amazing.
gave us is just an unbelievable place.
It's a really cool spot. We just moved into that new 50,000 square foot facility about 2 years
Oh, so you're
ago.
not in the little building no more.
Yeah, it's massive place, massive place.
Okay.
We have 2 big buildings now.
So now I got to come down again.
Yeah,
Darn,
come
it's
down,
just
check it out.
terrible.
Mhm.
It's just terrible. So, anything else, or is that it?
That's it. That's all our Discovery 22 stuff. 22, Discovery 24,
24
stuff.
stuff.
Rather. COVID's got me set back 2 years. We missed so much. It's like losing track of the days of the week, right? And it's SHOT Show. I don't even
And
know
it's the last day, so we're all kind of a little
Yeah.
frazzled and
As you can
confused.
tell by my voice.
And my voice too. Well, guys, this is Tony with Asian with Hat at SHOT Show 2024 at Primary Arms with Stephen Morgan, good friend of mine. Thanks again, Stephen.
Appreciate it. Thank
Later,
you.
brother.